Bryce Strelko joined by Nick Williams, Andrew Cherico for this post-game report from the Sons of UCF, sponsored by Latavius Murray's Knights 24/7, and a get-right game for UCF. They snapped their three-game losing streak, 45-13 over West Virginia. No longer, guys, 0 for October in the Big 12. The offense had Tayven Jackson back at quarterback, and they found some consistency, Andrew.
Yeah, you mentioned no more 0 for October. This was a much-needed win for the Knights, and it all happened on offense. The Knights had a very strong start to the game. 2 touchdowns, both on 4th down, both from Tayven Jackson to Chris Damercant. What a start. Then the second quarter, the offense stalled out, but in the third, it was the gears were turning again, and the offense broke loose. Jaden Nixon breaks an 85-yard run touchdown, and after that, the Knights keep going and stumble onto a victory.
Wasn't just the offense, Nick. Defensive coordinator Alex Grinch has been talking for several weeks now that the Knights needed to create a turnover, and they did so in a big way in the third.
Yeah, 7 sacks in this entire game, and this hasn't been done since Arizona. The last time they had more than 4 sacks was that Space game last season, and like you said, Trace, that strip sack fumble from Nigel E. Kelly, scoop and score from Keli Lawson, it was tremendous.
All right, let's hear from Coach Frost and the players.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically one good drive by the offense and one play by the defense, and the thing's about over. And, you know, my message all week was, you know, we need more splash plays, impact plays, plays that change the game. And we got several of them today. And I think if we can keep being a little more consistent and continue to find some game-changing plays on both sides of the ball and special teams, you know, we're going to be competitive.
Them boys ready. Like, I know we was counting out early, but I mean we still got a lot of year left, a lot of season left. So we still in the process of showing the world what we got to offer. But I hope this was a step in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. The locker room was electric. It was very important to get this win. Obviously, going into the bye week, we want to be able to start with a fresh slate. You know, we just got to finish out these 5 games. But definitely, this one was definitely key to getting that train back rolling, for sure.
No, we feel great. I feel great. I mean, this win was much needed. Like you said, 0-3 in conference. We definitely needed a conference win, and we just needed something to get going again and everything like that. Especially being back on homecoming. You can't lose on homecoming, man. That's just disappointing, especially for the fans and for the crowd. But I mean, just inside the building and everything like that, we're like, we got to get rolling. We got to get going somehow. So I mean, this win is definitely needed.
Yeah, we just shot ourselves in the foot a couple times, a couple drives, but I felt like we did a great job of bouncing back after that, and when we came out for the second half, and we did a really good job. Our offensive line was playing really aggressive the second half, and we got some runs to split, and our 10 receivers touched the ball today. So that goes to show you that this receiving room, anyone could go and make big plays.
All right, guys, let's talk about quarterback a little bit more. Tayven Jackson steady, a couple of touchdown passes, but what was interesting post-game is head coach Scott Frost talking about Cam Fancher, a couple of broken ribs sustained in that Cincinnati game.
Yeah, Trace, we learned from the midweek injury report that Cam Fancher was going to be out, and Coach Frost revealed in the presser that he had played through broken ribs in his game. Now for Tayven Jackson, it was good to see him back out there after Coach Frost revealed he was healthy going into the week. And Tayven Jackson brings a different dynamic to this offense. With Cam Fancher, you get a little bit more improv, a little bit more scrambling. But Tayven, he was ripping the ball, and he got some big chunk plays.
Well, that's not that the Knights were not without some struggles offensively. This was a 14-0 game, but they kind of let West Virginia get back into this one, a couple of 4th downs that failed for them.
Yeah, and if you remember against Kansas, the Knights couldn't get it in on the 1-yard line for the touchdown to tie the game. The Knights had similar struggles on short yardage situations, especially on 4th down. Coach Frost was feeling aggressive. He emphasized all week he wants to take advantage of his opportunities and put his opponents away. They didn't do it in the first half, but in the second half, they came back and got it done.
A questionable stop there, a 4th and 1 at the 39, gave West Virginia a short field, and that was a touchdown that allowed them to be 14-7 at the half, Nick.
Yeah, Trace, they got that easy kind of touchdown there and then that late touchdown in the 4th quarter. But when I spoke to head coach Rich Rodriguez, he told me that the team just didn't have it from the beginning. They stunk in all phases of the game. And I asked him, I said, Coach, both of these teams, injured O-lines, quarterback carousel, what gave UCF the edge? He just simply told me that he didn't have his starting quarterbacks.
Man, we stunk in every phase, every way. I mean, I thought we had good weeks. I've done this a long time. I thought the guys were ready to play. Hell, but we didn't do anything well. Looked slow, out of position, missed tackles, didn't block. Hell, had 2 holding penalties on draw plays. That never should ever happen. And so, just again, poorly coached, poorly executed, poorly played, poorly everything. So I'm hoping this is bottom. And then, you could say, well, you're playing young quarterbacks, and we are, and there's growing pains with that, but, that doesn't explain everything.
So the Knights snap their 3-game losing streak, 1-3 now in the Big 12, 4-3 overall, and they move into a bye week, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, Trace. Now the Knights are finally above 500 once again, and they'll use this for some momentum, hopefully heal up on some guys because they have a tough road test ahead of them in Baylor, and hopefully they'll claim some more wins to try and get that bowl game.
Yeah, let's talk about this. We were talking as the sound bites were rolling. This is now Tayven Jackson's job again, right?
Yeah. I mean, with Cam Fancher out, supposedly out for the next couple of weeks with broken ribs, I don't expect him to come back anytime soon from that. Tayven Jackson, I thought, established his role as a starting quarterback. After the Jacksonville State game, I thought he looked poised. I thought he looked good out there. And I thought all of spring and fall camp, he deserves to be the guy. Now I think everybody's starting to see why he is that guy. And with that offense, like I said, he brings a new dynamic and a lot of the big plays that Coach Frost maybe needed to up-tempo and get that UCF fast going.
So with the bye week, there's no media availability with head coach Scott Frost or offensive coordinator Steve Cooper, defensive coordinator Alex Grinch. Plenty of content, though, from the Sons of UCF throughout the week and as well on the 24/7 site.
Yeah, please be sure to check out Latavius Murray's Knights 24/7, where you can get the latest recruiting news, breaking recruitments, and all the latest scoops, as well as analysis and takeaways from games from UCF legends, Latavius Murray and Paul Carrington, as well as all the updates involved from a great staff of writers, including myself.
Including yourself. For Andrew Cherico, Nick Williams, I'm Trey Strelko for the Sons of UCF.